And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
This is my message to the media. First of all, what you need to know is that I'm a nobody. Unfortunately for you, there are tens of millions of nobodies. If you will not report on these protests, we will bring it to your fucking door. And we will do it every day until you cover the truth of what is happening in this country.
Call for Ukraine. Call for Ukraine.
Let the melody into your brain.
Call for Ukraine. Let the melody into your brain. Call for Ukraine. An evil fella's gonna drive you insane.
We're making moves while you're slower than molasses. We're riding deep, chasing donkeys of their asses. We all bosses, stomping schmucks like they're fastest. It's no wonder why the Peters wanna blast us. Can't surpass us, our razors hit the top. Stacking money like a crooked ass cop. Buying rides like a used Dodge Durango. Our whips hit you like that dude named Django. Now let's tango, this new beat is humongous. Burning on your toes like an itchy case of fungus. It's Easter time and the bunnies in among us. Brought to you by our renegade chungus, and we saying
Call for Ukraine. Call for Ukraine. Let the melody into your brain.
We are pilots of the Seraphim's UAV strike company. We hunt everyday Russian invaders. Our FPV drones demolish occupants day and night. We scorch enemy's tanks and APCs. And we are there where we are most needed. And for all this, we desperately need your help and support. To purchase 10 pickups and 2 minivans.
Я старший лейтенант Сергій Костинський, командир ударної роти Серафими. І я звертаюся до команди Car for Ukraine, Бандеромобіль, а також до партнерів їх ком'юніті на YouTube, в мережі X, в Інстаграмі, включаючи ATP Geopolitics, Eric Sikamimus, Word Translated, Paige One, Andrew Mercado, Таня Іона, Rick the Ukrainian та інших міжнародних бійців на інформаційному полі з проханням долучитися та посприяти в зборі на автомобілі для нашої ударної роти.
Our lives and lives of Ukrainian civilians are highly dependent from your support.
Ми, підрозділ Хімера БПЛА, звертаємося до команди Car for Ukraine та Бандеромобіль, а також до партнерів Laserpeak, ATP Geopolitics, Erix, Sukamaimus та інших міжнародних бійців на інформаційному полі з проханням долучитись та посприяти нам у зборі на автомобілі. А саме 3 повнопривідні пікапи та 2 буси для пошуку позицій та заїзду і виїзду з них, які знаходяться у важкопроїзних місцях. Дякуємо за допомогу. Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Greetings from the Chimera UA. We would like to thank Andrew Mercado, Mercado Media Community, and William from Alberta for your massive help with fundraiser, as well as Car for Ukraine and Banderomobil for getting the truck ready and delivering it here. Glory to Ukraine!
Дякуємо Car for Ukraine та Бандеромобіль за організацію збору та підготовку авто. Дякую спільнотам The Shields, а також ATP Geopolitics за підтримку у зборах і самому Діку та Джонатану за активну підтримку. Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
За рідну неньку! Постріл! Постріл! Постріл!
You know, some things just don't get old. I know I said I didn't like war footage, but when I see some of the trucks we fundraise for shooting grad rockets off the back, all right, I could watch that. Hello, everybody, and how are you doing today? Nice to see you all in chat. Thank you for joining me. I've got a lot of updates, little updates. Let's start. We're going to start, since we ended with the Pisanki launches. Let's take a peek at the fundraiser. I heard Laserpig was just slaying it today. Oh, and ATP Geopolitics. Let's take a peek. Guys, what? Okay, so we're at 199,890 euros in donations for the Easter Pisanki fundraiser. This is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. We're about to hit, what, $110 away from the 200,000 euro mark. So we are almost at the 220,000 euro goal. Let's take a peek at the campaign. Laserpig, absolutely crushing it. Crushing it. Laserpig did, I believe it was a live stream, like a 3-hour live stream on Twitch, and raised like 10,000 euros on one live stream. On one live stream. Shout out to Laserpig. Just destroyed it. Came in hot. Laserpig does like 1 hour long videos too, like really what does he call it, mid-quality YouTube videos. But really cool. Lots of followers, lots of donations. I think he's got like 430,000 subs or something on YouTube. Not trying to shorten his pigginess there, but pretty damn cool, Laserpig. Pretty cool. I would love to have you on for a chat one of these days, Laserpig. Would absolutely love that. That would be an honor for me, Sir Pig. The pig is lasering. Very well known in the NAFO community. Matter of fact, I think Laserpig has his own merch on the NAFO website. I buy merch here. I'm not going to lie, guys. I totally do. Collections. All items. On the NAFO website. Ooh, a D-Dog? NAFO a D-Dog? Oh, dude. I love my D-Dog. I know there's Laserpig, unless there's no way. There was Laserpig 2024 merch back in the day. Back in the day. Oh, here we go. Laserpig color embroidered hat. Laserpig Challenger driver sticker. Laserpig Autism t-shirt. And Laserpig Autism mugs. More Laserpig. Yeah, right here. Look. Make Elbonia great again. The pig. I gotta get one of these shirts. I'm gonna do it. I'm fucking doing it. Look at that. Look at that. I'm way sexier than that dude. And I got more hair. Way cool. Yeah. Yeah, that guy ain't got shit on my reach. Hi, Angie. You still got the cups? Awesome. I got you. What did I get you? Which ones were they? Were they the Flork? They were the Flork. The Flork, yeah, the Flork mugs. So, my fat ass is gonna have to get a triple XL. Don't get the double XL, guys. If you're double XL, this is European cut. You need the triple or lose weight. Yeah, shout out to that. What else we got? Okay, so hey, also. Let's go over this some more. I want to see who else lasered up, because Laserpig wasn't the only one. People have been really pushing for this lately. ATP Geopolitics finished his commitment as well. Right here. Such a minus 26,000 ATP Geopolitics today broke his mark. Very cool. And this only takes a few pushes, it seems like, for them, and they just shuttle all the way to the top. I mean, these are big platforms, guys. Huge compared to us. Our teensy little platform right there. But we did it. We did it. You know, I know a lot of you guys helped Mercado as well. So thank you guys. But yeah, the fundraiser's coming along. Got some people not moving very much here. But hey, they're still trying. They're still trying. Yeah, the NAFO cups. That's funny. All right, what else do we got? Okay, yes. Okay, another thing is I have an interview coming with Paige in Kansas. I don't know if you guys know Paige in Kansas. Paige in Kansas was a Peace Corps in Ukraine for like 4 years plus. I'm not sure on how many years. We'll have to get into that with her. But she has connections there. And supports many units. We're going to be interviewing with her this Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific. We're going to have Paige on as a guest. She's headed back to Ukraine. I will be supporting her fundraiser for quite some time. I have it pinned in the description. I talked to Dodger, and he is squared away right now. They are good. I asked him, what does he need? He says we're good right now. So he's dialed in. I'm hitting him for some links for another friend, but I don't know to what extent. He does have another friend looking for a vehicle, but I'm referring him to some of the fundraiser organizations to get vehicles like NAFO 69th SB and also, of course, Car for Ukraine. For now, I behind the scenes while I was doing the Pisanki fundraiser, Paige was doing donations for our friend in the 14th Mechanized Brigade, who is a relative of someone in the chat. So they got more tarps, generator right here. This is the 14th mechanized. This is Paige's Felina right here. Here is one of the soldiers. We got another generator for. While I was doing that, and she didn't even start a fundraiser for it. She gave it out of her own fundraiser, so I didn't even have to push for it. She was kind enough to cover my ass while I was away. But yeah, I can't forget about the 14th and the soldier that sent me the video who passed away. So we will continue to help the 14th until this war is over. 100% absolutely as well. And I got a small platform, so I really have to kind of triage or sometimes just go with where I feel it's necessary. And right now I feel like Paige has like 20 other units. We can get pictures and whatnot of her units. I'll gather some more. I'm sure she can keep us updated too on what's going on there. But she needs support, and 100% solid, an amazing human. She went to Razom, and was there with Mercado. She's just a great person. Yeah. So we're gonna help Paige's Give Butter. It's pinned in the chat. I've got it linked in the chat. Please, guys, if you could. By the way, her nickname from the Russians, she is known as the Murder Whore. And I believe she has her own Murder Whore patch in the works, which I absolutely must have. So we're gonna go more than that with her later. What else? I got another one. I got another shout out I want to give. This one's kind of off topic, but I'm gonna do it anyways because it's for one of my buddies I grew up with, who was a real dude. Let's see if I can get this. How can I get a share link? Okay, I got a buddy. He is Pomo, Native American. And he is in a current, let me see if I can get a share link, competition. And he needs some more votes. And I told him I would try to get him a little boost off my channel. It is for inkedmagazine.com 2025. For my buddy Rudy. Here, share. Is that how you share? Is that a share link? Copy link. This will be pinned at the end also as well with the other, which I have done terrible with, at the end of the stream with the other descriptions. But he is trying to win. I think he's in 4th place, 5th place right now. So he was in 4th, I believe, but he's doing really good. He's trying to get into Ink Magazine. I'm going to try to support him on that as best as I can. Let me bring up this. What am I doing? Okay, I got that. Close that. Open that. I got too many windows. I got hella windows, guys. Here we go. Paste. It's a free vote if you guys could. If you got a Facebook account, basically, I've done this before for cats, Ukrainian cats as well. If you guys could, please just go in there, shoot a quick vote. Yes vote is free. You don't have to purchase votes. But one yes vote is free and would help him a lot. From my understanding, it's a pretty tight race. And if he gets past this round, he goes to a next round. So if you guys could, I have it in the chat. I will link it at the end. What else do we have? It's real easy to do, too. You just go through there real quick. It pulls you up to your Facebook, log in with your Facebook, place a vote, you're done. And if you could, share it out as well. He's a really cool dude. He's a real dude. He was a little hooligan with me. He was a badder hooligan than I was. Boy, we got some stories. I remember some really crazy ass stories that if you guys ever get me drunk again on stream, I might share with you. I might. That's some stuff I don't want my kids to know about. Anywho, I'm going to bed. No, I'm playing. Let's see what else we got. What else do we got? Okay, I got you some links in there. Oh, I wanted to show you something from the Sunflower Society. They did a blood drive. Let's see if I can find it. Clicky, clicky. They did a blood drive and they did a walkathon. Fundraisers, join a rally. I don't know if it's in a rally. I'm so terrible at navigating Instagram. Does anybody else have problems with Instagram? I just suck at it. I'm not here. I'm going to pull it over. I am not good. Thank you, Steve. I'm not good at navigating Instagram. It's got to be in Reels. I just saw it. I know I saw the video. Well, anyways, I know they did the runathon. What's here? Oh, yeah. So they did a run for Azov. I had to frickin' work. I was way up north working, and I couldn't miss it. I would have loved to have gone to this. I wouldn't have been running. I would have walked. You're not going to get me running. Maybe, but not now. Way out of shape. Way out of shape. That's going to change soon, guys. Less of the booze, more of the hibiscus tea. We're gonna get into gear in here. It's already May. I got plans this summer. So we're going to get a little more active outdoors. Do some outdoorsy shit. But very cool runathon. I'm looking for the blood drive. Oh, right here.
Blood for American people. And I'm so grateful and thankful for them that they are supporting and help Ukraine.
So they went out, they got a facility together and started doing American Red Cross blood donations for Americans. Like they haven't given enough blood already. But
say thanks to American community. Now we just donate our blood.
You guys, I really, if you guys have an Instagram, please go follow the Sunflower Society. Sunflower Society in Sacramento, and share this out. More people need to see this. More people need to see how grateful the Ukrainians are in the United States are. This needs to get out here, and this is a great way to get even people on both sides of the political spectrum to pay attention, just for a moment.
And I'm so glad they do it today to say thank you, Americans, to support Ukraine. It's this part what we can do for you. Thank you for supporting Ukraine.
And if you're in the Sacramento area and you're interested, maybe they'll do another one and they will feed you delicious food.
American blood drive. Blood donate is my way to say thank you.
Shout out again to the Sunflower Society in Sacramento. Really cool. Let me see if I can get the shared. I'm going to share the share to. Copy link. All right, we're going to share Sunflower Society in Sacramento. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. Right. Yeah. They're worth following. They're amazing people. Posting it right now, Steve. Got you, my guy. Boom. All right, that is Sunflower Society Sacramento. They do all the rallies at the Capitol on the 24th of every month, around 6 p.m. and on, 7 p.m. on. I usually show up early. There's fundraising groups they know from people they know. And they are amazing. There's familiar faces. If you guys have watched some of my interviews, familiar faces. Anna, amazing. Svetlana, amazing. Just great people. Dima. Remember the interview I did with him? He's an Azov defender. He was captured. Spent 6 months in captivity fighting in his hometown of Mariupol while it was leveled to the ground. He is an amazing dude. I would love to get him in another interview, but I know he hates that shit. So maybe at some point I will. I'm just not trying to push him on it, you know. I don't want to interview him about what happened in the war and captivity. I want to talk to him about how it is adapting to the United States coming from there, and ask him about his town before the war. So maybe I can get Dima in here. That would be great. Anyways, yeah, give them a follow. What else? Is that it? Oh, another one. While she's in the chat. Where is... Angie Pod's got her own channel. Come give some subs over here. Let me link this one as well. This is all shout outs. We're just doing shout outs now, guys. Share channel. Copy. Yeah, well, my very first interview was Galina from Melitopol, Land of Cherries. There's Angie's YouTube page, guys. Go give some subs to Angie if you could. That would be great. All right, little slow start. I had to do it. I got to do the shout outs. Let's get into the headliner, guys. Have you guys seen what's going on in the United States right now? The Racoons are smoking meth. This is not clickbait. It's real. Okay. Maybe they weren't smoking it. I say this with seriousness and respect. Maybe they're not smoking it, but oh my God, guys. This is America. That's what I could always ask Demon that if I ever interview him. So, what do you think about the Racoons smoking meth in America? Wild. It's got to be in Wild. Okay, yeah, right here. Let's see. Where's the original video? I had another video. Oh, wait. Raccoon. Okay, right here. Okay, this is a traffic stop with a raccoon that got caught with a meth pipe.
Hello.
Okay. I'm going to read it to you real quick. A raccoon was caught holding a meth pipe during a traffic stop in Springfield Township, Ohio. Footage from police shows an officer conducted a traffic stop because the car's registered owner had an active warrant and suspended driver's license, according to the Springfield Township Police Department. After the stop, things took an unusual turn, police said, when a pet raccoon named Chewy... Why did that raccoon have to be named Chewy? Was seen with a meth pipe in its mouth. The discovery led police to inspect the car further and find an amount of methamphetamine, crack cocaine, and 3 used glass meth pipes, authorities said. The driver faces multiple charges, including possession of drugs, 3 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia, and citation for driving under suspension. Chewy was unharmed, police said, and authorities are looking to determine whether the driver had proper documentation to own the raccoon. Let's go.
The raccoon has her meth pipe.
As what? Oh my God.
Her meth pipe. He's playing with the meth pipe right now. No, don't reach for it. That's evidence now.
Oh, I don't want him to have that.
Well, that's why I'm going to do it. Hey, buddy.
Huh?
It's okay.
Okay, you're on Arlington. He'll be here in 2 minutes. I'm right across from my house.
Is that what that
A few minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what she's smoking meth in.
Okay.
The raccoon's playing with her meth pipe.
All right.
Oh, there's There's no. He's trying to smoke it.
All right. Thanks.
There's no way.
I don't even know what to think.
All right. Enough fun and games.
Here.
Again?
Holy hell.
Huh?
Oh.
Yeah, he's on his way here.
Keep an eye. She was trying to take the meth pipe out of the car. Just keep an eye on her real quick.
Hello?
Oh my god, dude. I just
in games.
I'm
here.
This is just so wild. Literally wild. This is the definition of wild.
Thanks.
There's no way. All right. Enough fun and games.
Here.
Again?
Bro's like right about to roll one back. Raccoons are mean, especially tweaked out raccoons that haven't slept in a week. God, can you imagine a paranoid raccoon? How this is wild. Wild. Oh my god, already.
They try to make me go to rehab, but I say no.
Iconic Americana right here. 2025. They're rolling the bowls. They're smoking the meths. Iconic. Oh, let's hear what the cops had to say. God, can you imagine the AAR on this?
So him and I was at Walmart up on 2887 South Arlington Road. I was parked up front on the apron, and he was standing at my door talking to me, and a red SUV occupied by the people inside of it pulled into the parking lot, and he was adjusting his vest, and I just happened to be looking that direction at the time, and the two female passengers up front, I think, thought he was turning around to look at them, and so they both looked the opposite direction. And I said, hey, that was kind of weird. And they didn't have windows. They had a picket fence on their passenger side windows, the front and back. So he gave me the plate, and I ran it. And I was able to confirm that the female driver was suspended and had a warrant for arrest as well.
So. That's when I posted up across the street, waited for the vehicle to come out onto Arlington. Initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle, made contact with the driver who had the suspended license and the warrant for arrest, placed her under arrest, detained her for the warrant, walked her back to my car, and then when I went up to the vehicle, we found the raccoon in the driver's seat with the paraphernalia. The raccoon had dug a hole into a sheets bag that was on the driver's seat as well. Inside of it were the meth pipes and the 7 bags of crystal methamphetamine. I was talking.
7 bags of crystal methamphetamine? Woo, they were having a good time. That's okay. 7 bags would mean that would be trafficking, I believe, depending on the size. But if you've got 7 bags of meth, yeah, you're doing more than just personal use. You're selling for sure. And I think that's a trafficking charge. I don't know how it is in Ohio, though.
Talking to the male and female, the male had contacted his father to come up to arrange transportation for the other female and the 2 dogs that were in the vehicle as well. And while I was doing that, I noticed the raccoon Chewy pop his head up, and when I turned to look inside the vehicle to make sure he didn't.
The cop even calls him by his name. When I saw the raccoon Chewy, I lost my shit and said, this is going viral.
Hop out. That's when I noticed he was holding a glass methamphetamine pipe. So I kind of...
This is Springfield, Ohio. This is not Spokane, but that's hilarious.
Talked to him about it and reached in, grabbed it, and then when I turned back, he had a second one in his hands. Reached in and grabbed that one and the sheets bag that I could tell that they were sticking out of, and that's when we located the other narcotics.
What are you thinking when you see a raccoon with a meth?
Not an everyday thing. Definitely not an everyday thing, but you know, with the
Oh my god, bro! That raccoon has watched its owner roll so many bowls of meth. The raccoon knew exactly where to put the pipe. Like, this is what she's been doing, officer. Look at me. I'll show you.
especially in Arlington, we do see some interesting things, but seeing a raccoon holding some drug paraphernalia was a very interesting.
I need that in a t-shirt. I need that in a t-shirt.
Interesting part of my day.
How long have the two of you been officers?
4.5 years.
I was 3.5, 4.
Dude, can you imagine if the raccoon got the keys, started the car, and tried to take off on him?
Experienced anything even remotely close to this?
I cannot say so.
So that, I mean, this whole thing changes in an instant because of this raccoon. So what next? What happens next?
So once we secured the paraphernalia and the narcotics, we secured transportation for Chewy. The father was able to get a carrier for it. And then we contacted ODNR, and we've been in follow-up with the investigation into making sure that Chewy's safe and secure with the family that took him in.
With respect to the drugs and what else, the paraphernalia that was found.
Bro! Oh my god. Hold on. Yeah, this is what I was working on before. Before I started the stream.
In the vehicle, this now accelerates.
You're mine now.
Felony arrest, is that right?
Yes.
And tell me about that.
So with the weight of the narcotics, it was approximately 7.15 grams of crystal methamphetamine and
7.15 grams. So like a third of an ounce. That's some weight. Yeah, they're in some deep shit.
10 grams of crack cocaine. All of it was field tested, all field tested positive. So it means it's going to be upgraded to a felony of the 3rd degree because it was twice the bulk amount in the state of Ohio.
Do either of you know what the laws are for keeping?
Twice the bulk amount is a felony, so you can run around with a fucking 8-ball and not have it a felony? Jesus.
A raccoon?
We just know, as far as we know, you just have to have a...
I remember when a 20 bag was a felony charge, like in the 90s in California. Your ass got caught with a fucking scraper, you're going away for 3.5 years. You're getting sentenced to 5, and you're going away for 3.5 to a fire line.
Special permit. It's got to be vetted, like a license, stuff like that. And at the time, they didn't have any documentation stating that, so we were just going to do a follow-up. And then, like Officer Branham said, the male's father that showed up with the dog crate, we used the dog pole to get it because we couldn't get it inside the crate. And then him and her mother left with the raccoon that day.
Which was described as a pet.
Oh my god, yeah, he's fighting back the laughter for sure, LJ, for sure.
Yes. Yeah, the guy said he had it 3 to 4 years, and it didn't look very old, so I would assume they had it since probably right around birth.
She told me she did not want to open the door because of the raccoon between her feet. At first, obviously, I thought maybe that was some kind of joke, and then I looked down, and sure enough, there was Chewy sitting at her feet, looking up at me.
On the boulder side of the floor?
Yep.
Were you nervous, or did you say you kind of reached in first? Were you
So,
by getting bit or anything?
yes and no. Obviously, no one wants to be bit by any animal on the job. But Chewy seemed extremely playful. He was kind of just sitting there looking up at us. He was playing around with a plastic bag on the floor. He was going between the driver's seat and the passenger's seat, playing around. So the risk of being bit, I figured at the time may have been a little lower than a normal raccoon that one would encounter.
She seemed kind of shocked. What's going on here?
It was a little jarring, but at the same time, we wanted to make sure that Chewie was taken care of.
Spartacus says, lucky for him, Chewie left his piece at home. Facts.
Especially when the family that was holding him said that he was like a member of the family, that he was a pet,
God.
and how he was. I'm a big animal lover, so seeing any type of animal playing around always puts me in a better mood.
How about some freaking like pet endangerment charges? Like, where's that at? If you remember your family, you're gonna let your child raccoon play with your meth pipe. Where's the raccoon laws? Where's the legislation in Ohio right now? How are you gonna let your raccoon child play with a meth pipe? Show me we have to call our representatives, guys. This needs to stop. There needs to be punishment for letting your raccoon play with meth pipes.
So it was a very humorous moment, but when I reached back in, I wanted to make sure that there was no open residue, open signs of narcotics, to make sure that Chewie didn't inadvertently get contaminated with them.
From each of you, this apparently is getting...
Something tells me Chewie's been contaminated before. Something tells me Chewie's pretty experienced. The way Chewie's holding that pipe, might be a little more to it. Save a teener for Chewie.
Attention. What do you make of that?
I guess as humorous as it is, having an animal, more of a rabid animal with drug paraphernalia, you gotta more so think about the driver of the vehicle and, her needing the help that she's gonna get, hopefully that she gets for her drug issue. Because it could have been a kid rather than a raccoon. So, you gotta...
I didn't even watch that part, and yes, 100%. Get her some help.
Look at it that way, and I'm sure, I don't want to speak for him, but we've never came across any animals that have ingested any narcotics or anything, so it's hard to say that he did or didn't. We would assume he did not, by his reaction when we were there the whole time.
Chewie was on a bender for a week, guys. He's seeing the shadow people already.
But it's just one thing I guess we never expected to encounter. So.
Any future for Chewie on the force?
Right, be our new mascot.
Do you know what's happened soon now? Especially if they cannot produce.
Dude, they're gonna put him down, or maybe with enough publicity they won't. There are those no-kill shelters, so maybe Chewie will go to a no-kill shelter.
Any documents?
So we've been in contact with ODNR. We will be helping them to either rehome the raccoon to a safer location or to help them obtain the proper certification to properly own Chewie. So that way we can cover the base of making sure that Chewie's taken care of.
And once again, Chewie was released to whom?
The mother of the owner. As fun as it is to see a raccoon holding a...
Bro, I can't get over this. Look at the technique. Like, now you guys don't want to hold the lighter too close, all right?
Pipe. It is very sad to see someone in that condition with that addiction that is battling that every day. So that's why we've been in contact with ODNR, because we want to make sure, obviously, the raccoon gets the help, but that she can get the proper paperwork that she may not be able to afford or obtain because of her current situation.
So him and I was...
Boy, oh boy. Raccoons are smoking the pipes. This never happened in the 90s. At least not where I lived. I mean, meth was prevalent where I lived in the 90s. But you never saw a raccoon rolling a meth pipe in a car and getting pulled over. At least I never did. My God. This is wild, guys. Absolutely wild. I hope Chewie gets some help. Chewie definitely needs some help.
Open.
Shout out to Chewie, guys. That was one hell of a story. Cocaine Bear. We need more memes. I need more Chewy memes, guys. God, I wish I had. Chewy's gonna get his own Discord channel when I get mine done. Some people, man, I swear to God. Wild, wild, wild. All right, I got some more collections here. I started breaking it down into collections. I broke it down into collections. We got more wild. Let's get into more wild. We'll do some more wild. Oh yeah, here's a good one.
Oh, guys.
Check this out. So, when you're running late to your tea time, I don't know when this happened. It popped up on my feed. It said it was a week ago. Gulf Gods. A plane crash lands at Riviera Country Club.
Hey. I'm moving. I'm not fucking. I'm not fucking.
Bro.
Okay.
Bro, is that another raccoon? Flying his whole freaking kilos of it? What the?
Oh, guys.
You know what this is? This is Pete Hegseth coming in to visit Trump.
Hey. I'm moving. I'm not fucking. I'm not fucking.
Holy shnikes.
Pretty damn good landing though. You know, that would be some bumps and bruises. Came in pretty hot. That would bumpy. You know, maybe a dislocated shoulder or something from the seatbelt, but damn, that was a pretty good landing. Hey, bitch. Yeah, get that one out of the sand trap. Pretty damn impressive, I'd imagine, you know? Can you imagine that going down, crash landing? All right, what else we got? Oh, yeah. So, little AI going crazy. Check this out. This is a robot in China. How fucking scary is that? Robot uprising has come early. Early footage from China shows a robot attacking engineers during testing. Damn, dude. All they did was give it some AI, and he's like, "Nope, you know, this species needs to go. You guys need to go. Look at that thing." Can you imagine that thing running after you? And that's just a prototype, guys. That's pretty scary. That looks like it has some serious power. That guy's he's nervous. Yeah, nope. I'm not getting your phone back, buddy. Oof. Dude, this is wild. AI is wild. Bot doesn't want to be enslaved. Yeah, I'm sure he's not happy to be on that hook. God damn, dude. What a scary world. More plane crashes, or at least planes clipping each other here. I can't talk today.
Passenger planes at the San Francisco tonight to the newest scare at the airport. 2 crowded United passenger planes at the San Francisco airport clipping wings. Meantime, the growing crisis at Newark Airport. Nearly 1,000 flights canceled since news of that air traffic control outage. Air traffic controllers losing contact with passenger planes in the air for up to 90 seconds. And tonight, the major change coming for all air travelers in the U.S. starting tomorrow. And here's the question. Did you get your new Real ID card?
The robot found the meth? I'm dead.
And what happens if you didn't? ABC's Matt Rivers at Newark tonight.
Tonight, 2 United passenger jets clipping wings as one of the planes pushed back from the gate in San Francisco.
That's affirmative. There's a possible collision in between the hours.
Overnight, this flight headed to Sydney, striking another bound for Hong Kong. No injuries reported, but hundreds of passengers forced to deplane. It's just the latest in what's been a brutal week for the airline, forced to cancel hundreds of flights at East Coast hub Newark Airport. beleaguered by an air traffic control shortage. Some controllers taking medical leave after what they called a, quote, traumatic event. An air traffic control system outage last Monday, leaving them unable to see, hear, or speak with planes in the air packed with passengers for 60 to 90 seconds. In newly obtained audio, one pilot trying to make contact met by silence.
Approach, you there?
Communications coming back online, but controllers unable to see the planes on radar.
We don't have a radar, so I don't know where you are.
Today, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy promising to update the decades-old infrastructure.
We are going to fix it. We are going to build a brand new system for all of you and your families and the American people.
But controller shortages, bad weather, and runway construction still plaguing Newark flyers. And long lines at driver's license offices across the country. Starting tomorrow, travelers flying domestically will be required to have a real ID license or state identification card or a passport, or they will face extra screening and questioning at the security checkpoint.
If it's not compliant, they may be diverted to a different line, have an
Ew, Christy Gnomes, gross, yuck.
extra step, but people will be allowed to fly.
And David, here at Newark, a source tells ABC News that the FAA is trying to urgently rush in experienced air traffic controllers from other parts of the country to try and help out here. But David, even that is going to take some time.
Well, more issues with flying, guys. I would keep my feet on the ground. There's other ways to get around. I mean, you know, it would be nice to take a vacation, but God, how scary. Shit's getting weird. I want to see some statistics, though, like comparably to last year, the year before, because there's a lot of plane crashes every year, mostly in Alaska, I'd imagine. But this doesn't seem like Alaska. This is New Jersey. I've been to that airport. I flew into it when I went to Manhattan on a vacation. Nice airport. But they're having some issues now. I know my first flight I ever took out of SAC was to Arizona to Newark. The computer would not load in the aircraft, and we were delayed like 2 hours sitting there because they had to restart the computer. It was insane. Flying's insane. All right, we got. Oh yeah, okay. Let's go into Kanye West freaked out.
I watch what you put out on X. You got 32.
Listen to this guy. So he's on an interview with Piers Morgan. And he just ends up walking out. Listen to this guy.
2 million followers. So you're one of the most followed people.
Hold on.
I watch what you put out on X. You got 32 million followers. So you're one of the most followed people.
See, wait. Now look right now. You're not gonna take inches off my dick, bro. Like, how many followers do I have?
Well, how many is it?
I think you could do the study. You got a whole staff over there.
I thought it was 32 million. How many is it? You obviously know.
I mean, no. I mean, don't help them out. You know they.
I'm told it's 33 million now. So congratulations. You're slightly bigger following than I thought.
No, congratulations. Your information is correct. You're not just some, dude trying to sub. I'm a gift, bro. You know what I mean? Why do all you people in media act like you?
Kanye is a gift, bro.
Haven't played my songs at your weddings or graduations or at funerals or when your child was born. You take somebody that's living like a Lennon, a Michael Jackson, and you just.
I think I played one of his songs one day during my divorce on loop when I was like packing my shit to leave.
Take all this time to just like that nuance right there. It's idiotic. It just shows the hate that you put out for people that put love. There's so much love in the art that I put out.
Respect, what are you talking about? I haven't said anything.
What are you talking about? It's 30. Okay, now you're not taking accountability or responsibility.
You said it. You implied I haven't played your music. Of course I played your music.
No, sir. This is what you get for now. We can circle back when you can count.
Okay.
There he goes, walking on out because he didn't want to talk about the cousin. That's what that is. I mean, come on. Sheesh. About to get grilled on some comments on X. No, let's not talk about X. Let's not talk about X. I don't want to go there. Went straight on the attack. God, oof. That's a darn. Little brief look into North Korea. It looks like I have this saved somewhere else as well. There's a dude that took footage in North Korea that was visiting.
I've been told that I can't step any further beyond this stone sort of line there. That's the hotel property. None of the guests here are allowed past that line. And we're certainly not allowed to wander off into the city, even though...
Can you imagine not being allowed to walk out of the property right there, being in a whole city? Like, you take one step off those stone steps, and they're going to send you back in a coma to your country, years after spending it in prison.
In the middle of the downtown area. As our guide told us, we're kind of in our gilded prison here. As you can see, there isn't really one...
I will never understand why people want to go to a country that is just completely the epitome of a dictatorship, to where they could do anything they want as soon as you're there. As soon as you're there, do anything they want to turn you into a propaganda piece and accuse you of whatever. And then next thing you know, you're in some prison being tortured, and then they send you back because you're sick as fuck, don't know how to treat you, or they beat you to death and send you back completely like brain dead, like they did Otto. It's just insane why anybody would want to go there, especially for what? Is he there for clicks, for attention? Why would you want to go there?
Way to describe the architecture here. It's kind of a tacky, disco, retro, 70s thing going on. But as you can see, this place is massive. This is pretty opulent, as you can see. There's just mirrors everywhere and these kind of rainbow disco lights going on. Sort of a giant landscape fresco. You'll see a lot of those in North Korea. So now we're in the elevator lobby. Here's the view from the lobby elevator. And what's really interesting is if you look there, the lower floors are where our handlers and the locals live when they're visiting, or when they're hosting us. And I guess you can't really get a good look at that. But it's a completely different environment than the one that we're staying in. I've been told that I can't...
Well, yeah, it's all a big show. Where they give you a propaganda tour and you can only go here. That should explain enough. Explains enough. A lot of fakeness going. I would not. He's not going back there after doing this, after saying this stuff. I'm sure he said this afterwards. He didn't say when he's walking around. He wouldn't be walking around. Oh, yeah. Here's some disturbing shit right here.
To an ABC News exclusive tonight, an urgent FBI warning
I'll be right back. I gotta get
about
some
a dangerous
coffee,
online
something.
network called 764, allegedly targeting American children and teenagers on social media and what they're doing. ABC News joining forces with our owned and affiliate stations across the country and what every parent needs to know tonight. Here's Pierre Thomas.
Tonight, the Justice Department says the armed man in this video is tied to a disturbing and growing threat, a shadowy network called 764, whose goal is to spark violence and chaos around the world, in part by luring in unsuspecting teenagers. Authorities say 764 is behind a string of chilling threats in Vernon, Connecticut.
Hello? I have placed 2 explosives inside of Rockville High School, okay? And if they fail to detonate, I'm just going to shoot every kid I see, okay?
The call was a hoax coming from overseas, but with help from a teenage girl living right in town.
He was doing these threats with her knowledge and with some of her input.
764 targets kids on social media and gaming platforms, extorting them into sending violent and sexual content.
They will encourage them sometimes to commit suicide. They will encourage them to do cutting. They will encourage them to harm their pets.
They're using basically psychological warfare on children.
That's right. They gain the trust, and then they continue to build that trust to the point where they have power and the ability to blackmail the child, basically.
The suspect in the fake bomb threat convinced that teen he was her boyfriend. Soon she was sharing pornographic pictures of herself and was fully indoctrinated, defacing a Barbie with those numbers 764.
Before it started, she was a child who was on the honor roll. She had a lot of friends, and then slowly that started to change.
ABC News agreed to alter the faces and voices of the girl's parents.
I wanted to scream, "Not my child."
David, the FBI is warning parents to pay attention to who their kids are talking to on social media and gaming platforms. Tonight, the FBI is investigating more than 250 suspects tied to 764, with every field office involved. David?
Incredible reporting, Pierre, from you and our stations across the country. Thank you.
I'm reading the comments over here. Gaming platforms is code for Roblox. I heard there's some weird shit going on in Roblox. Haven't researched it, but I will probably dig into that later. Scares the shit out of me. Having kids, man. Oof. I remember that. What was that? Moo? Was that Momo? Was it Momo or Momo? That Momo thing was going around on YouTube. That shit was scary too. But man, there's some sick fuckers in the world. That's for damn sure. All right, I think that's all the wild. We go through the wild. Yeah, I mean, with enough teaching, you can teach your kids not to get involved in, or at least to know what to look for. You know, my kids play games, and believe me, we're very cautious. Very cautious. All right. Let's get into some outdoorsy stuff. This gentleman, remember we were watching him, Sailing with Phoenix? So I found out a little more about this guy. He's got like a life-threatening issue to where he can go paralyzed.
My name is Oliver. I work a corporate job at a tire shop. I absolutely hate this life. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a sailboat and I'm going to sail around the world for the rest of my life until I die. This is the start of my journey.
And this is day one of crossing the Pacific Ocean and sailing from Oregon to Hawaii. And I made it past the graveyard of the Pacific, and this is my first time sailing outside of a river.
So yeah, this guy is crazy. Crazy. And also, I get it, man. Like, you find out you got some weird degenerative disease to where your spine can compress or something crazy. I don't know what it is. He's not happy. Not happy plugging it, going into a corporate job, hitting the time clock, or not hitting the time clock. Maybe he's salary. Hates it. Wants to do something else. He's young enough to do it. He took his cat with him, which he's getting a lot of flack for. But the cat seems pretty kosher. That's the whole thing. His cat's name is Phoenix. So this guy's sailing with Phoenix.
Going for Hawaii. So it could take me anywhere between 20 to 30 days. So feel free to follow the journey. There is nothing but open ocean and a beautiful sunset. I did it. I did it.
My name is Oliver. I work a
So
corporate
I
job.
am going to start watching this guy closely. He's going pretty viral right now. Pretty interesting journey so far.
Welcome to day 4 of sailing across the Pacific Ocean from Oregon to Hawaii with my cat. As a total crazy person, feel free to follow the journey. I don't know.
I hear ladies spitting at the Nickajack's business.
So he even says like he's super socially awkward, so he's gonna say and do things that a lot of people are just gonna be like, "What the hell was that for?" So those are the type of people I like, though. But man, look at these waves. I think at one point he says the camera doesn't do him any justice.
For my nap with my kitty, my little sweet girl. She is the best nap partner there is, because she's very warm and she's putting on some heat. But yeah, I just woke up. It's 12 a.m. and I'm gonna go have a peanut butter jelly sandwich. And my pillow doesn't have a pillowcase because, well, it came off, and I don't know where it is. So, thank you for watching.
Welcome to...
You can see that. You can hear the creaking of the boat. Can you imagine doing this, guys?
Nope, not rethinking my life decisions. I think a lot of people think that this whole, you know, crossing oceans and this...
So this guy's got a Starlink. He's got a Starlink with it. That's how he's doing it. He put a Starlink on it.
boat life thing is paradise and babes in bikinis, but it is not. I knew what I signed up for.
So he says the cat seems pretty chill, like nothing's going on. So, I don't know.
Been absolutely terrified.
I've never taken a cat on a boat. I think that's like taking a banana on a boat, isn't it? You're not supposed to.
There will be more moments where I'm absolutely terrified. I've had moments already where I've been in awe, like seeing those whales is crazy, and I'm just gonna post and show you guys what it is. Like, you know, I'm not gonna try and be any sort of type of way, and yeah, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't want to go back to working my job. This is way better than that. Doesn't matter how scared I am. But yeah, I am. People.
You can see the fear in his eyes when he laughs. It's great. I love his the social awkwardness. When I'm extremely uncomfortable too, in weird situations, I will laugh, and it's just always the worst timing. But sometimes it happens, right?
I've asked too if I'm scared. Yeah, I definitely have moments where I get really scared. The ocean's a crazy place, so thanks for watching. No.
All right. Yep. Speaking of crazy, I think it gets pretty crazy here. He runs into, I think he goes right into a squaw.
Day 5 of sailing from Oregon to Hawaii with my cat, and day 5 is the spiciest by far. Somehow, my cat is doing much better than I am. It's like she doesn't even know what's happening. She is just content with life. These waves are absolutely massive.
Oh. Yeah, that's when you know you're in the shit. Look at that thing. That's a whole wave there. One. Look at that. Look how fucking big that thing is. That's not a little one. That's like, oh, okay.
So far, it's been 500 miles, and we're less than 2,000 miles away from Hawaii. So, that's exciting stuff. Hopefully it calms down a bit and I can take better videos, but as of right now, it's just all hands on deck. So it looks like I'll have this weather for all day today, and then it won't clear up until the 6th. So hopefully by the 6th things start to settle down a bit, which...
KK says, cats have a long history of being on ships. Rat Patrol. That makes total sense. I never thought of that.
The 6th is, I don't even know what day of the week it is, but the 6th, we got Tuesday. The 6th is Tuesday, and we got to hold out to Tuesday, and then I think from there on out, it's going to be...
The real Vladimir Putin says, hi there, you nautical chunguses. The nautical chunguses. I was actually thinking the Chungalites. Sounds a little more culty, you know, since cults are in.
Relatively smooth sailing, you could say.
The nautical Chungalites.
But thank you for watching. Sailing Phoenix is out. Day 5 of sailing from Oregon to Hawaii with my cat.
Yeah, I really hope that cat just isn't in complete shock, like, oh my god, this guy's a maniac. Man. I hope. He better do a cute cat video showing the cat having a good time, because yeah, that would be pretty fucking shitty.
Alright, this is day 6. Sailing from Oregon to Hawaii. This is going to be an unedited video, and I don't intend to scare anybody or any of that stuff. It is what it is. It's what happens. It's part of the journey, and I'll keep you guys updated on the issue. But I had
I had to do a little repair on my sail. Two of the battens came loose, which was my fault. And I was in the middle of just repairing that, and then I completely lost my rudder, control over my rudder, which is why I'm in here right now. But yeah, and I spent like 4 hours trying to figure that out. It was an absolute disaster. Everything, I was getting hit by the waves on the side. It was the scariest moment of my entire life. And you know, a lot of people are gonna say, you know, what's the point? Why are you doing this, that, and the other? I know the risks that I'm taking, and I do want to say my cat is totally fine. Obviously, she's just still sitting in the room asleep. But yeah, you know, a bunch of people are gonna say a bunch of things, and you know, I'm taking a risk. I've been boisterous about the risk that I'm taking, and you know, I'm taking a risk, and I'm aware of these risks. It was scary. I've got the boat stable again. I've got a third reef in, and just a little bit of jib, and we're back on course. And this is where, so what happened was, this is my rudder quadrant, and this is the cable. The cable must have worked itself loose or something, or some nuts backed off. I have to look up how to do it. So, but what happened was the rudder got locked hard to starboard, and that's why I couldn't change my direction.
Dude, so he lost rudder control hard to starboard, and the waves were pushing the opposite direction from the side, hitting him on the side. He couldn't maneuver in a swell, dude.
Because I've got the rudder from the hydro vane, which has its own auxiliary rudder, but it's smaller, and I couldn't I realized too late. It took me a while to realize that the rudder was hard to starboard, the main rudder, and I ended up just lashing. I've got, because these popped off, and I got it back on, and this quadrant was slamming back and forth, and so I got the cables back on, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys more about it later. All is good. We're on course. Everything's safe. Calmer weather's coming, and when the calmer weather comes, I'm gonna do some repairs. I knew things were gonna break. I knew these things were a possibility. I was hoping it wasn't gonna be the rudder, but I knew all this stuff was gonna be a possibility, and I've been mentally prepared for it. Of course, I'm scared, and that was the scariest thing I've ever done in my life, but or that's ever happened in my life. But we're good. Everything's all is well. So yeah, please don't freak out, internet. Thanks for watching. I'll give you guys updates, but we're good.
So I'm going to do a little research about the cat on the boat theory, because if cats have been on the boats for centuries chasing rats for rat control, they didn't just shut down and die. So maybe the cat needs to get used to the rocking of the boat. Maybe the cat's fine. He says the cat's fine. I don't really see a lot of deception in the dude. I wouldn't take my cat on the boat. I just wouldn't do it. I could understand his sense of companionship or wanting to be there, and you know, if he's going, who's going to leave his cat with, right? Who's going to have the cat if something happens to him, right? Like, I'd want to take my best friend too, but I don't know. Well, I'll research a little more. I'm going to keep watching this guy, though. Another close call he had here.
Day 7, sailing across the Pacific Ocean.
Look, cat's eating. Cat's chilling, cat's eating. Cat's not sleeping. I think cat's okay.
Going from Oregon to Hawaii with my cat. That's my cat. That's her gimbal I had set up for her food, so when the boat rocks, her food doesn't spill and water doesn't spill everywhere. But a big wave came and I fell over and I hit everything, and I bent the stove and I broke her gimbal. Every sailor's worst nightmare is getting trapped in this locker, because when this closes, these latches lock shut and you're stuck in there. Today,
what the hell? Why wouldn't they have like a safety latch from the inside that you could pop?
That happened to me. I lashed it off, I guess lazily, and I was in there, and a huge wave came.
Well, when that wave came, it damaged my mic, and I lost audio for the remainder of this video, but you didn't miss much because it was just kind of a rambling idiot. But what I was saying actually is so I got stuck in the latch. I got stuck, so a huge wave came, and the latch slammed closed.
Who made that? I don't know, dude. It sounds like some Soviet era shit, though, doesn't it? You go into a hole, but you do not come out.
And locked close, and while I was in there, and that was second scariest moment of my life. First scariest was yesterday, and that was the second scariest. And I fortunately had a wrench in there with me, and I just was able to wedge it between the crack that was there, and I just popped it open, and I broke the hinges on it, which I'll fix later. But at least I know I'm not going to get stuck in there again for this trip. Lesson learned, don't lazily. Day 5. Day 7.
So, yeah, pretty impressive shit. Dude's got some freaking cojones. Probably not a death wish, but I'm sure he was sick of it all. Like he said, he hates this life. He wants to change it, so he's doing it. I got to give him props for that, man. You know, you probably just get to a point where, like, I can't continue on like this. I need to do something else. Maybe a little fear is what he needs to, you know, help him, you know, touch grass eventually. We'll see if he touches grass again eventually. Hopefully. But I'm going to be following this guy. I want to see what happens. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Day 8.
This is day 8 of sailing with my cat from Oregon to Hawaii. Today marks the first day since I've changed clothes. I saw dolphins, which is amazing. And also, for those of you that are new here, because I think I got a lot of new followers, I'm the guy who quit his job, liquidated his 401k, sold everything except for my cat to buy.
So I guess Davy Jones' locker door. Okay, I don't know, maybe. But that's scary shit. Like, who would design that? What? Why?
A boat and sail around the world. And I want to use my platform to talk to you guys about my political opinions. Yeah, also, if you ever meet me in person, just be very aware that I am socially awkward, and I will bring weird energy, and I will be uncomfortable. I'm also painfully nice. So, yeah, here's the dolphins.
Oh my god, I love it.
Dolphin right there. Oh! Oh my god! Oh!
I've never heard of weird energy before, other than, like, you know, maybe from Tim Waltz saying it, but weird energy.
Look at him. Here. Oh my god! Oh! Look at him. Here he comes. Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
That is so cool. The winds have calmed down. I've repaired my sails. I'm thoroughly enjoying life. The water is blue. That is blue water.
So that is Mediterranean blue. This reminds me so much of Hawaii. And he's getting closer to Hawaii. But I went on vacation there to Oahu many, many moons ago. And went scuba diving and found some turtles. And yeah, they dropped us on a pod of dolphins in this Mediterranean blue water just like this. It was it looked like the color of a Pepsi can. That's the only way I can describe it. Really, like, you have to, this camera does it no justice. You have to be out there to see this color. It almost looks plastic. The water looks almost fake. It looks so just perfect. It's amazing.
Also, to answer the question I get asked the most, I'm using Starlink. That's how. Thank you for watching.
All right. Well, we'll keep sailing with Phoenix, and hopefully him and his cat make it. But good times. Good times. He's my peeps. I'm weird. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm right there with you, bud. I got the DJL joke. I am a sailor. I'm weird. Gets 1 million likes. Facts. Looks like my Caribbean blue appetite jewelry. I'm telling you, there is nothing like being out in that water. It's so unreal. They took us to this nuclear power plant exhaust too. I'm like, what? We're going to do what? He's like, yeah, we're going to a nuclear power plant. You guys are going to swim in the nuke water. I'm like, huh? And they take you to this, at the end of the power plant, way out there, there's this big concrete tube that goes out. And it pulls water into the tube, cools, cycles in the nuclear power plant, heats up, and then the exhaust from the power plant shoots back out this tube. And everything, it moves you around in it, and you feel this really hot water coming out. And every fish from around the island is there in this little, like, semi-eco environment, like a little tiny environment. So you see all these pretty little colorful fish all over the place, just chilling there, waiting for that warm water to come out. It's really cool. Hopefully it wasn't leaking, but you know, I feel okay. But yeah, really cool. I wanted to show a couple of videos also of the Pacific Crest Trailhead. This is one of the adventures I've actually wanted to do. I am by no means in the shape of it. This is brutal. This is a brutal trail. This is probably something I would have done when I was a little younger. I'm not saying that I wouldn't try it again, but oh my God, you better be in some shape. It's a long one, and it goes way high up in the sky through the Sierra Nevadas all the way up to Oregon, from Mexico to Oregon through California. Check it out.
Day one of hiking from Mexico to Canada on the Pacific Crest Trail. After years of dreaming and
I apologize. Mexico to Canada. I didn't realize the trailhead went all the way that far. So, wow, that was mind-blowing right there.
months of planning, the day is finally here. We left bright and early at 5 a.m. and drove down to San Diego to the southern border. The trail officially starts at this monument where I took my iconic photos.
So I think I said Oregon because that's as far as I would probably go.
And said goodbye to my family who has been so supportive of me during this entire journey. I walked the short distance to the border and put my hand into Mexico so I could officially begin my border-to-border journey. After signing the trail register and taking a moment to think, holy crap, this is actually happening, I took my first official steps on the PCT as a thru hiker. For the
pretty freaking wild. So the thing I noticed about this is they have like bathroom stop signs, really cool. They have markers, and then there's like they have oh, look at that sign, 3,000 miles or 3 miles to Mexico, 2,647 miles to Canada. Very cool. They have like a restaurant there and whatnot you can stop at.
It turns out today was the start of a 3-day mini heat wave, which would push the temperatures in this area 20 degrees above their average for this time.
Oof, so it's already getting hot. You can only carry so much water too hiking this, so you got to like bring one of those water purifiers, right? And clean your own water on the way, or you know, whatever. No water on the trail.
Siestas in the shade whenever possible and try not to get heat stroke. The humidity was also in the single digits on these days, which made for incredibly dry conditions. Thankfully, this California girl was equipped with plenty of water.
Well, she brought plenty of water. 15 miles to the next stop. Hella people there.
Camped at the only spot with water for the first 20 miles, making for a lovely little tent city sleepover for my first night on the PCT.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I would like to do something like that. God, I would really like that particular. How hot is that in Celsius? 20 degree change? God, I don't know. What the hell is a Celsius? What is a Celsius? 20 degrees F2C. Minus, it's 6.666 degrees Celsius change. 20 Fahrenheit. But, yeah. Yeah, sorry, I forgot I got viewers from everywhere. Where I live, it gets to 45 degrees, 45 and a half degrees Celsius. If that's, hot to you. It gets really hot where I live. Oh, 114 degrees last year here. Hottest year in recorded history where I live.
From Mexico to Canada on the Pacific Crest Trail. This morning we woke up along with about 20 other hikers at the home of Little Bear, a former PCT hiker.
So this dude just like opens up his place to hikers who come. That's badass. That's pretty cool. But look at the scenery around here. And then check it out.
Famous food spots on the PCT. The hiker hunger is definitely starting to kick in, which means that we were ravenous for everything. I had this coffee milk.
Bro, look at that food though. Like just grubbing down on a big trail. I would not feel guilty at all about just grubbing everything there.
Milkshake, a delicious burger, and of course some salad to make it healthy, you know. From here, some hikers are going directly to the town of Idlewild. We are headed up into Mount San Jacinto.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyways, I thought I'd share that. I've always wanted to hike the Pacific Crest Trailhead. Or at least like get up there and spots of it. Like maybe not the whole thing. You know, because that would just be outrageous. That'd be a lot. I don't think my back could handle it. But, yeah, it would be cool. I would love to check that out. So, kind of cool stuff. Little outdoorsy stuff. I thought I'd break it into a little segment. I like outdoorsy stuff. Let's get into... Before we hit politics, we're going to get a quick meditation in. I feel like that's what we need. Just a quick meditation, then we'll go a little wild. Everybody come meditate with me, all right?
First, we're gonna get rid of all dumb energy, homie, all right? So you breathe in and out. Breathe in. Exhale. How dumb. Because sometimes life could get weird, homie. One time I was about 6 years old, and my tia was watching me, you know, and the neighbor's kids too. And she goes, hey, I want to get a blouse. Like, let's go to the swap meet. I said, okay, tia, let's go. And sure enough, she found a booth, and this vato selling blouses. And she found one. She goes, ay, mira qué bonito, this one, how much? And the vato said $12, and she says, that's too expensive. She looked at me, and she goes, mijo, watch, I'm going to teach you a lesson right now. We're going to walk away, and this vato's going to give us a better price, you know? And I said, well, I don't really care, tia, but I have to walk with you anyway because you're taking care of me for today, you know? And I'm 6 years old. But lo and behold, homie, we're walking, and sure enough, you know, the guy starts yelling, hey, hey. And she looked at me, and she winked. She goes, see, I told you, mijo. And he goes, how about $4? And she said, $4? And he said, forget it. And I said, So it got weird in that moment, homie. But the point is that we kept it moving, eh? We went back to the house, we made our sandwiches and Kool-Aid, and we continued the day, homie. Excuse my language, but every fucking day, negativity will try to get at you. You gotta be ready for that shit. Get out, homie, you know? And sometimes it'll try to get at you through your own friends and familia. That's when you really gotta be ready, you know? But you gotta push that negativity out, homie, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot to get up, to show up on a weekend day. So for that, I admire you guys, homie, you know? That's the first step, just walking through this door. You know, right now we're living, breathing right here, close to Phoenix, Arizona, or wherever we're at, homie, and having a good time and enjoying each other's energy and getting ourselves in shape, you know? So that's what's up, you know? And I know I couldn't even do some of the stretches, but but I really appreciate you guys having me. So take care of yourselves, you know, take care of each other, and you know that Creeper loves you, eh? That's what's up.
Shout out to Creeper. Little meditation. A little zen, if you will. A little zen. Let's get into some El Politicos. Now that we've had a little Creeper. What do we got, guys?
We're getting arrested because it's time for people to understand we got to put workers over billionaires. We have billionaires who are enacting a fascist agenda on the federal level, and we got to let them know we're not going to stand for it, and that workers are going to be at the front of this movement to fight back for our country.
So these dudes got arrested. This is a sit-in. 75 people arrested for blocking traffic on Vine Street in Philadelphia on Thursday as part of the May Day action. So Krajewski joined local labor leaders, union members, and faith leaders for an action pushing against President Donald Trump's unprecedented attacks on unions and workers since the start of his second term in office. There's a lot of workers out there that are absolutely fed up with what's going on. Even the coal miners, because he's killing the regulators that monitor like black lung, which I feel like I got right now, God, which is killing people. So a lot of people are pretty pissed off at Trump, including workers, of course, union workers.
Did you tell, as was reported, President Trump, that Putin is only doing this and agreeing to talks because he's afraid of Trump? Did you tell him that?
Yes. I told Trump that Putin afraid of him. Yes, and he heard me. And now Putin knows.
I want this war to be over, and I want to meet Zelensky so bad. I know Canty was talking about this the other day. I can't think of a man in my lifetime who's lived that I have admired more, that I have met, like seen on video, not met in person, but that I have watched. I haven't, like, his whole character, everything about him, you can see the great personality behind him. He's one of the greatest leaders this world's ever known. And we have the honor of being alive while he's alive defending his country. He just seems like the most amazing person. I would absolutely love to just have tea with him, sit back for a while, and have a good laugh, because he seems like a really chill dude. Let's hope this war gets over quick. It would be really cool. Just 5-10 minutes sit down with him, just to chill, shoot the shit.
Once we put the Democrats back in power, I don't want to hear no shit that the country's been through too much. I want these people prosecuted for every fucking crime that they committed. I don't want to hear no shit about let's take it easy, let's do the right thing. They need to be fucking prosecuted.
So that's another thing, guys. These midterms that are coming, people, even next election cycle, there is so much fraud that's happening. There's so much criminal behavior coming from this administration. There's no way to say it's retaliatory. Like, we are watching it 100%. There needs to be accountability as soon as we have the ability through our legal system to do so. There's lawyers that are stepping up, making firm groups together with other people to combat this stuff, which I think I said we'll get into a little more later.
Is the Maine here, the governor of Maine?
Not here.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
Well, we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it, because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply, because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one.
The USDA has backed down, and they have agreed to stop freezing funds for the school lunch program that feeds 172,000 kids in Maine.
So just like any other bully, you beat them once, and guess what? They back down. Janet Mills fought Trump on his unlawful authoritarian punishment without due process method of rule. Janet Mills stood up to him, and she beat him. She did her job. Now we just need the rest of our representatives to do the same.
Freezing without due process. Freezing without any rationale. Freezing without any congressional basis. I told him.
So we need more. We're going to need more lawsuits. That's how we're going to beat this. More lawsuits. We need more people suing Trump. Because he's breaking the law. Like, in every level.
I'd see him in court. Well, I did see him in court. And we won.
All right, good to see. That's a dub for Janet Mills. Dub for Mills. What else we got?
They took our incredibly sensitive, financial system, kicked everybody out. So no USAID employee had access to it anymore.
All right, this is an episode 119. I don't know what that is. We talk with Cameron Hilliker, who was recently fired from his job at USAID as part of Doge cuts. He walks us through the harmful and illegal actions Doge took and explains the work he's doing now to advocate for other fired federal employees.
And then they said, we were going to hand select what payments go through. And we said, no, you can't. That's not how this works. You don't understand. Like, there are legal liabilities for doing that. And they said, no. I'm a 26-year-old Silicon Valley savant. Like, I know what I'm doing. And sure enough, like, they misappropriated funds. And I want to be clear here. After our leadership was put on leave and effectively fired, they tried to build their own system. They built a poor system. They overpaid people. They sent money to the wrong people. They purchased the wrong supplies. These are criminal actions that I don't think are ever going to get caught because there's just so much criminal activity going on. But they have defrauded the American people. They have wasted American taxpayer dollars. And it was all in the name of Doge, being more efficient. And this is when, so you kind of have this like rolling financial crisis that's happening, and it paralyzes the agency because a lot of the work we do is, moving those funds to help a disaster. When all this was happening, our team was actually helping to evacuate the Democratic Republic of Congo. There are Americans in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We were helping them escape this fleeing violence. There were like 2 or 3 Americans in those cities we were helping to evacuate. And this is one of those things where, I was working, you just work all hours of the day because you were trying to save Americans and you were trying to get people out. And we were doing that right up until the moment we got emails that said, you are a non-essential employee. Your position is being terminated. Your laptop no longer works. You were kicked out of the system. Goodbye and good luck. And this was devastating, right? Like, we had people on flights trying to get back to the U.S. And I lost access. I don't know how those people are doing. I really hope they're safe.
That's fucking wild, dude. Oh my God, that must have been heart-wrenching. You're working to get these people home, then all of a sudden you have no ability to. And there's no way to track it. Hopefully more people come forward and say, hey, I was over here and I got out barely, or so-and-so didn't get out. Because I feel like American lives were lost because of USA getting cut for what it did. We need more coverage on that.
Let me give you some examples. These are actual examples. So you're saying the prices that are going down, some prices are going up, tires, strollers, some clothing in the wake of your tariffs.
Excuse me, that's peanuts compared to energy. Energy is 60% of the cost.
But sir, you
campaigned
on a promise to bring prices down on day
Well, I don't know. When you say strollers are going up, what kind of a thing? I'm saying that gasoline is going down. Gasoline is thousands of times more important than a stroller someplace.
But what do you say to Americans who say they voted for you because they want
gasoline is 1,000 times more important than a stroller? Coming from a man who had never pushed around a kid in a stroller or had to carry a kid. Yeah, he's had kids, but dude, how can you say that?
They need relief right now.
And they're getting it.
Right now? What about those
even mortgage rates?
different items I just
Mortgage
mentioned?
rates are going down despite the fact that we have a stubborn Fed.
But you said dolls could cost a couple bucks more.
Maybe they might, but you don't need to have, as I said, $35. You can have 2, 3, 4 and save a lot of money. We don't need to feed the beast.
So you're not allowed to have $35 anymore if you got a kid. Apparently 2 or 3 is enough for everybody. Wow. That absolutely, he has no clue what he just said there.
2, 3, 4 and save it. But you don't need to have, as I said, $35. You can have 2, 3, 4 and save a lot of money. We don't need to feed the beast.
Oh, he puts the cap on capitalism, doesn't he? That's outrageous.
Trump is a really bad candidate, and frankly, I think a really bad person.
But I can just tell you that a con artist is about to take over the Republican Party and the conservative movement, and we have to put a stop to it. And there is no way we are going to allow a con artist to take over the conservative movement, and Donald Trump is a con artist.
What do you think a Trump government would look like, Senator?
It would be chaos.
Trump has committed an act of war. He has pushed our country into a state of war with Iran, a war that will prove to be far more devastating and costly than anything that we saw with the war in Iraq or the war in Afghanistan. It'll make those wars look like a picnic.
I already called that. Tulsi Gabbard even was talking about it before she got indoctrinated into his cabinet and cult. I've got money on Trump invading Syria before, or not Syria, Iran before his 4 years is over.
The action that this Trump administration has taken in reneging and breaking our role in the Iran nuclear agreement when Iran is complying with the agreement.
Well, he's not my candidate, but people came to this country for religious freedom. So I believe his statement was un-American, and I don't agree with it. I think everybody knows that I don't
So that's Kristi Noem talking.
support him in this primary election. Everybody in this country is very frustrated. This president and this administration have shown us how not to run a country and have placed a lot of burdens on individuals, and people are struggling.
It makes you think that at a fundamental level, this is sort of a he said, she said, right? And at the end of the day, do you believe Donald Trump, who always tells the truth? Just kidding. Or do you believe that woman on that tape?
No, you're not. Quote, unfit for office. He called him a, quote, cynical a-hole.
There is definitely an element of Donald Trump's support that has its basis in racism or xenophobia. I never liked him. I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I'm definitely not going to vote for Trump because I think that he's projecting very complex problems onto simple villains.
If he builds the wall the way he built Trump Towers, he'll be using illegal immigrant labor to do it. The second...
I'm going to get in trouble.
Wow. Man, his entire cabinet was speaking out against him before this shit rolled out. And where are we now? Where are we now? I'm going to stop on the political stuff. I'm actually getting a pretty good mood. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to stop on 6 political topics. Take a break. I will cover the rest of these later on a different stream. There's a lot more to it. I will get into a little world news. We'll get into a little bit more. Just a few things that I caught along the way. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. World. Let's go into some world. We'll get into some breaking peace talks, guys, with India and Pakistan. Have you guys seen this? This is some serious discussions being had right now.
You are fucking, you bloody, you bloody bastard, bitch, fuck you, bloody, fucking mother, bloody, fuck, bitch, you bloody, fuck you fucking bloody bastard, Benchwood, bloody, you blunder, no, but why, bloody, no, why, bloody, fucking, accident, then what you wanna do? Why you fuck me, I fuck you, bloody bastard, fucking running like lady, eh? Bloody. What the fuck, man? Fucking.
It's too soon or what?
Fucking now shout at me, innit? Why are you shouting at me? Because I am going to the work. If you don't do, you do the other places. Why are you shouting? Because of this, you are doing. Hello. I don't know. You are doing like this. I think you are going to accident. No, shouting at me no good, man. Me no shout at you. But the thing is that, what you think if you do like this one, you are going at work and somebody else. But that like one, this. If you running like that one, you gonna fucking fall.
All right. Well, at least the negotiations have started, right? Not World War III. Totally not. Even though I do firmly believe that if something does happen, it's going to start right there. Right there. I call it a gut feeling. But if the nuclear war does begin, right there, India, Pakistan. That's my feeling.
Why are India and Pakistan going to war against each other? India on the right and Pakistan on the left have been fighting over this region known as Kashmir. Today, the internationally agreed upon lines look like this, where even China controls a section of Kashmir to the east. But on April 22nd, Pakistan made a major move into India's section that may be sending these two countries into an all-out war. 5 Pakistani militants moved into the Basaran Valley, which is a popular tourist area. These militants were targeting anyone who wasn't Muslim. The militants reportedly asked the tourists to state their religion and recite Islamic verses so that they could tell who was Muslim and who wasn't. The militants then executed anyone who wasn't Muslim, only sparing women and children, where 26 died and 20 others were injured.
So there are reports on the other side, too, saying that this is complete hooey. So there's a lot of back and forth going on with the truth.
Response to this attack, India launched Operation Sindoor, where they fired missiles at 9 sites in Pakistan and Pakistan-controlled Kashmir that were all alleged to house terrorist infrastructure linked to the assault. These airstrikes led to the deaths of 31 people in Pakistan, including many civilians. Pakistan then called these airstrikes an act of war and retaliated by shooting down several Indian fighter jets that were flying over the Kashmir region.
This is a pretty good, damn good breakdown, though, don't you guys think? Like, the graphics and everything, pretty good, pretty convincing breakdown.
This conflict especially dangerous is that India and Pakistan both have nuclear weapons, and a lot of them. Pakistan's defense minister also just said that our nuclear bombs are not meant to be displayed in museums. We will use them if attacked by India. I'm going to be posting updates on this war, so make sure to follow.
Yeah, I totally feel like that's a promise and not a threat. I totally feel like these two countries this will be, if we're going to go into a nuclear conflict, it's going to start between Pakistan and India. I feel that. And like I said, it's just kind of a feeling right now, a gut feeling. But I definitely, I have concerns about that escalating if they do start going at it.
If you were to pick up the phone and speak with President Trump or President Xi of China or Prime Minister Modi in India, what would you say?
I would say that the time has come to put aside national ambitions and look for an international ambition of survival.
It seems politically the tide is moving in the opposite direction from that of nations more looking inward and not as being part of a larger international community.
That's what's going to sink us in the end. That's what's going to sink us.
Can you be optimistic at all?
We don't have an alternative. I mean, what good it is to do is say, oh, to hell with it, I don't care. You can't say that. Not if you love your children, not if you love the rest of humanity. How can you say that?
If you were to pick up the phone,
I don't think we have the capability as a society, as a species at this point, to put away national ambitions. I don't. You know, we've proven time and time again that we're just a really greedy species. Unfortunately. Yeah. But, yeah, we're headed in some interesting times with it all.
If the president brings the legal profession to heel, what situation is the country in then?
No rule of law. You're in a dictatorship. That's what happened in China. It happens in Russia. These are legal systems that look like legal systems, but in fact are controlled by a dictatorship.
If the president brings the legal...
Well, dictatorship's on the way, folks.
Pakistan has credible intelligence that India intends carrying out military action against Pakistan in the next 24 to 36 hours on the pretext of baseless and concocted allegations of involvement in the Pahalgam incident. India's self-assumed hubristic role of judge, jury, and executioner in the region is reckless and vehemently rejected.
So Pakistan saying it's not true, no terrorists went over there, blah, blah, blah. It's all rhetoric, the false flags, this and that. So it's back and forth. One side saying, you guys sent over people, killed our people, now we're going to take out their shit. And the other side saying it's not true, you guys are just imperialistic and want our area.
Pakistan reiterates that any such military adventurism by India would be responded to assuredly and decisively. The international community must remain alive to the reality that the onus of escalatory spiral and its ensuing consequences shall squarely lie with India. Pakistan.
So we'll see what happens if that's unfolding. Really interesting stuff going on over there, guys. Beyond interesting, it is concerning. You know, how many wars are we going to start right now? But God, I hope I'm not burning out from all this war shit and it's just getting started. Because then I have to think about other things, like being ready in case it comes here. and I've put so much energy into supporting Ukraine in their fight. Oof. I need more funny real quick. We're going to wrap this up, then we're going to do some funny. What else we got? A little bit on the Pope. An American Pope, guys. First time ever. Let's see what Brent Terhune has to say about it. He's got a take on the Pope we should take a peek at.
We got an American Pope. Hey, cue up Hulk Hogan's theme song, because this guy is a real American. You know, for far too long, the United States has suffered under the complete and utter tyranny of all these foreign popes. And what's that? He was critical of J.D. Vance and Donald Trump on Twitter. And he wants to show immigrants mercy, and he condemns capitalism and racism and greed. Greedism. You hear that? All kinds of isms he condemned. And he thinks we should do more than thoughts and prayers after gun violence. That pisses me off. I wanted a Law and Order Pope. I'm talking boots to asses Pope, and turns out we got Pope Woke the First. You know, just when you think you know a guy, he turns out to have decent morals and values. It's like he's actually read the book he's based his life around. I mean, Jesus Christ. And he's from Chicago? You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't have deep dish communion by Sunday. Just you watch. You know, this papal aggression will not stand, man. I mean, who died and made him Pope anyway? Can we move him to a different parish? Find that out. You know what? Call up the Black Widow and have him set up a meeting. Yes, I mean J.D. Vance. He took out the last one. Let's see what he can do with this one. I mean, the guy, he could fall into a furniture store and come out banging a trash can. If anybody can mess this up, it's him.
A little bit from Terhune. There's Terhune's take on
I
the
just
new
seen
Pope.
on Fox News.
Good old Brent Terhune. A little bit out of North Korea as well. Listen to this, man. This is how you frickin' suck off a dictator.
Do you know anyone who has met Kim Jong-un?
Yeah.
You know
me, of course.
You met him?
Yeah. Not personally met, but we had a photograph.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If
If someone is coming to DPRK, what would you like them to understand?
we have the great leader. He is the source of our energy, our strength. Whenever he visits some place, all the people are interested in that place.
Wow.
And we really envy them, and envy the people who visited the place, and we envy the people who personally met him. When he appeared, I felt like I was attracted to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
He was attracted to him. Wow.
It was incredible. It was incredible. National holidays like the January the 1st, and on their birthdays, and every special occasions, we visit here and we show respect.
It's a very proud moment for you.
Yeah, it's a very proud moment for us.
Do you know anyone who has met?
Yuck. More yuck, man. Complete yuck. Complete dictatorship, brainwashed society. Coming to America soon, guys. Coming to America soon. I think we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up with a little more funny and head on out. I got one more for you guys. And we'll cover more later. There's plenty. I got plenty. I'm running out of steam. I'm tired. I'm really tired today. One more funny. Yeah, we'll go here.
Fuck your job. Do only what you are paid to do.
You are not slave. You are not office bitch. Hard work is bad for you. Hard work only good for making somebody else rich. They say hard work never killed anybody. Remember, all work and no play makes Jack important.
And there's your words of wisdom tonight, guys. Thank you for joining me again. Remember, coming up this Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, Paige in Kansas is going to be on for an interview. Please do not miss this one. She's headed back to Ukraine to deliver aid. She's been a great fundraiser. Absolutely amazing human being. I can't wait to talk to her. Can't wait to share that with you guys as well. I absolutely adore her. She's just the greatest person. So yeah, we'll see you guys then. That's going to be Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific is when the stream will start. Make sure to donate to her fundraiser. GiveButter.com is pinned into the chat, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.
Motherfucker, not fella, drama.
You called Green Moscow Marjorie. The nickname seems to have really taken off.
Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I put that on my party, I put that on my family. 14th District, Georgia Swamp, address me as your MTG. Yeah, you can kiss my ass, but you can never touch my town. I deport all the immigrants so they don't turn my babies brown. MAGA is my party, I'm like a horse head Barbie. Divorce one, he's not hung, but the gym guy is naughty. Party magic girl in the Senate, radical. See me at your college campus, baggy full of Adderalls. Call me if you need a lie, call me if you need no truth. See them other Republicans, they don't ever leave the booth. I'm a conspiracy loser, I got no solid takes, but Jewish space lasers be burning up your Golden Gate Bridge. My IQ is less than your fridge and the freezer, and we stunning like Muga Golden Gate Bridge. My IQ is less than your fridge and the freezer. Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Moga, not for fella, drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Call myself a winner, yeah. And if I met Jesus, I would poison him at dinner. I'm the editor up not for fella drama. Them basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. I'm looking like Madonna, but I'm flossing like Ivana Trump. You know I keep that twerk in my trunk. Got my hand on daddy trunk, so I can feel his lump. I'm yelling Muga nasty, till my throat is raspy. Old, rich and trashy, I be where the cash be. You can't find that. Think you need a Google map. I couldn't handle it, will poison all your kitty cats. Now Google that, dummies follow me on Twitter. I claim to read the Bible, but I be lying out my shitter. You're a lame ass sinner, I call myself a winner. And if I met Jesus, I would poison him at dinner. I'm the editor, director, plus I'm my own boss. Shitting on Ukraine with no shame, just to see the loss. Which means Natalie getting over me. Russian propaganda be pumping out my ovaries. And we starting like not for fella drama. And basic bitches wear that shit, so I don't even bother. Looking like Madonna, but I'm flossing like Ivana Trump. You know I keep that twerk in my trunk. Got my hand on daddy trunk, so I can feel his lump. Cog tour, got you spitting on my bits. And April fellas always reppin' with bong hits. We wipe you out like toilet paper does the shits. Serve you up like cheesy eggs, bacon, and some grits. We are in your walls and we better than your cause. My Shiba Inu hungry, gonna bite you with his jaws. Designer keyboard ready for a pause. We posting memes, original with no flaws. We phone controls online for the cause. We never slow down, sleep or take a pause. We rolling deep in the fetty, that's our cause. We fundraising money, phone controls and breaking the laws. And we crazy smooth brain, don't ignite us. Bump until all my phalanges get rheumatoid arthritis. And that's why nobody ever wanna fight us. Maple fellas never stop like a train or virus. And we barking, biting, bonking, biting, wagging tails when we hit the night. Sparking, lighting, igniting like a bomb. No viewers though. Maple fellas be better than all your bots know. And we got no leader, I am the boss. 10,000 deep when we creep, ain't no time to floss like an owl. We don't sleep, we about that box, telegram to the X, we about the cause. And our moves are so fluid like we made of water. Blowing warships up, you ran out of solder. You might think you're hot, but my game is harder. Take a chick to the tunnel like up to a goddard. Till the end we will rep, that's all we gotta do. Tearing up the set with Nate on its crew. We bustin' rhymes in the beats like all the fellas do. Better check yourself before my doggies do. Got you spitting on my bits. The NAFO fellas always reppin' with bong hits. We wipe you out like toilet paper does the shits. Serve you up like cheesy eggs, bacon, and some grits. We are in your walls and we better